our previous video, we saw the compelling evidence that the moon is indeed a hollow object made by some extraterrestrial force and its peculiar characteristics that it makes as a planet and not as a moon. If you missed the part 1 of this video, I have pinned the link in the comment section as well as in the description. Please go ahead and check that. Let's dig in further for more information on the hollow moon. Today, we will see the details about the moon from ancient culture and its folklore. Are there any stories or proof that is available with us saying that the moon is not always with us and it came recently? If yes, then when it happened and what were the conditions before and after the arrival of the moon? Do we know it? Yes. Every ancient culture on earth has stories related to moon. But the interesting part is that further you go back, fewer stories there are. If you go back far enough, there are stories that talk about a sky before the moon arrived. Greek authors have recorded this in their stories around 5th century BC. Proselynes, and they are called Proselynes, and they lived in an area called Arcadia. They said they have been here since there was a moon in the heavens. And on the other part of the world, in the country Bolivia, there is a culture called Tiwanaku. These guys also refer to a period where there is no moon in the sky. Also, these people claims moon came to the earth roughly 12,000 to 15,000 years ago. Basically, these are the Younger Dryas period recorded in ancient history, where the civilization was rich and kings were ruled for 1,000 years, meaning the average age limit for a normal person was around 1,000 years during this period. And by the way, the great Atlantis was pretty much above the ground during this time, and the technological advancement were happening around this time, and some say Babylon Hanging Garden was alive at this time. Also, there are some even crazy stories that pyramid was built during this period. So the great flood happened around this period, and every religion across the world has recorded this in their book. And Zulu folks, on the other hand, has a detailed information much more than the Tiwanaku, on the detailed information on how the earth was before and after the moon has arrived. And this pretty much matches with every religion and holy books artifacts that we have recovered. According to Zulu, before the arrival of moon, there was a thick layer of water vapor covered the entire earth, and we had no seasons because sun couldn't penetrate the layer. It was a thick mist, right? So we had only mist everywhere, and when the moon was finally placed into orbit, all this water vapor fell at once and it created a cataclysmic global flood. There is mounting evidence that this indeed happened during the Younger Dryas. Cultures around the world have myths that are in perfect sync with each other. This is not understood clearly by science until the past 100 years. Yet somehow, the ancient Zulu were able to make the connections between the moon and the tides and the seasons. All of these myths and legends plus strange coincidences and anomalies about the moon start to add up. This is on the folklore part. Let's check the science facts. According to science, moon is a cold, lifeless planet with no atmosphere. Is it really? For a lifeless planet, there are a lot of activities happening around. On March 7th, 1971, a cloud of water vapor appeared on the moon that covered 100 square miles, and it was there for 14 hours before it disappeared. There's not supposed to be atmosphere on the moon, but for those 14 hours there was. In fact, 6 astronomers in the past 100 years have documented a glowing mist in the crater named Plato. The same mist, same crater over many years. How is this possible? The boulder tracks. You see, there is a small boulder where we can see it has been dragged across the moon. As if that is not enough, we can see the boulder moves uphill. How can a boulder move uphill and come down and continue its path? Since the days of Aristotle, astronomers have seen strange lights appear on the surface of the moon, sometimes visible with the naked eye. NASA even reported that between the years of 1540 to 1967, there were 570 sightings of these light flashes on the moon. There is a crater in moon which was photographed in 1992, and it shows a glowing blue light. This glowing blue light is called the blue gem, and this anomaly has been seen by Earth-based telescopes every few years since. Some even have speculated it's a fusion reactor, and these events are mysterious. But things get even more weird. There are plenty of photographs of what appear to be artificial objects on the surface of the moon. Towers that reach several miles high, pyramid structures, all these have been photographed by astronomers and probes. We didn't do it. It was provided by NASA and the reputable scientists as well as the astronauts. The biggest anomaly of all, why we haven't gone back to the moon. Is there any specific reason why we haven't gone back to the moon again? Now, almost immediately after landing on the moon, the Apollo 11 crew said they saw something that shook them. Just watch the press conference they gave when they returned.
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that.
These men are acting like they made history or had a life-changing experience. It's beginning of a new age. They look sad, frightened, and pressed, kind of uncomfortable. Is there a reason we haven't returned to moon? And could it be that Apollo missions have discovered something that ancient cultures knew centuries ago? We can't take the folklore and coincidence alone as a proof. Also, myths are not considered as proof. Questions. Why the distance between the moon and the earth is so perfect? The answer for this is no. As a matter of fact, moon is moving slowly away from us. Previously, we used to have the perfect eclipse. Nowadays, it is not perfect. It is near perfect. It is moving further away from us. And the orbit, that the moon orbit, which is mystery around the earth, it doesn't have a perfect orbit around the earth, as I said. And it moves away from us. Soon, in few million years, the moon we know might have moved away, or worse, collided with us. But still, the formation of the moon and the composition of the materials are still mystery. Also, can we please go back to the moon and get the answers once and for all before it moves away from us? So this part of the video goes to Elon Musk. I know you are eager for the humanity to move to Mars. Can we see our neighbor first? It has almost all close properties of Earth, and most of the scientists are saying that it is a planet rather than a moon. It's very near and practical. Why don't you just give it a try, Mr. Musk? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you had fun or learned anything, do me a favor and like, subscribe. See you soon in the next video. Bye.